So we were talking about the Amida, and yesterday we asked why. We asked yesterday why is it that the Amida, which is the apex of prayer, it's the time that we stand. We talked about taking 3 steps back and 3 steps forward. We talked about, and so entering that space with God, where it's just ka'avda kamemara, it's just a servant before his master. It's just us and God. And we've gone through all the rungs of the ladder of prayer, and we've reached the height of it. And what happens there? We get from geula to tefillah. We go from redemption right into prayer. And what is it that we pray about? What is it that our newfound redemption and freedom and deliverance, what does that lead to? It leads to an Amida where all we do is ask God for our needs, essentially. Not all we do, but the bulk of the Amida is asking God for our personal needs. So we asked, how do we square these two things? That on one hand, we're talking about a transcendent experience, should be the Amida. Transcendent means that you can go out of yourself, out of your own petty, small little world. And yet at the same time, what is it that the script that we're reading is our needs? And it's not just the script. This is what we're sharing. We're bearing our souls and our hearts to God. So how is it that is how we spend that time? So the truth is that it's really, it tells us that the profound nature of who we actually are. When we can be truly liberated and freed from our own egos and from our own limitations, we come to see our material needs that we have in a whole different light. We think we need this, I need that, I need a coffee to start my day, right? I need X amount of money, I need this, I need that. We have all these things that we think we need, and until we have those things, we're miserable, we're being bogged down, we're held down, we're limited. If only I had this, if only I had that, if only my life was like this, if only my life was like that. But the truth is, when we appreciate the fact that God creates us with a purpose, and that he gives us the tools and the resources and the talents and the abilities to fulfill that purpose, because obviously he wouldn't give us a purpose that or a mission that we couldn't fulfill. So obviously he's given us everything we need to fulfill that mission. When we recognize that, suddenly we see that all these things that we think we need, it's not we that needs it, it's God that needs it. Our life is critical to God. It's more important to him in a sense than it is even to us. Because if we fail at life, okay, so we failed at life, we might be disappointed. Maybe some people close to us are disappointed, but no big deal in the big scheme of things. But if we fail at life, then the one who's ultimately disappointed is the one who made the biggest investment in us. Our biggest investor, God, is the one who's disappointed. And God creates us. He puts us in this world with this life with all these material needs. He's the one who creates those needs. So the height of prayer, we come to realize that our needs aren't our needs. They're actually God's needs. And we say, God, these things are needed for you. The things that you want from us, this is what we need to make it happen. So we can see now our own personal needs in a whole different light. When we see it in that new light, now these needs or these lacks that we think the things that we think we're lacking don't restrict us. They don't inhibit us. On the contrary, we're freed from the pull and the stress of those things, because God has to figure out, it's his problem. I'd seen a line, I think a chassid said something to the effect that that our stress, what we stress out about, is after 120. The things that have to go on and happen between now and 120, during our lifetime, that's God's stresses. God has to worry about that. This is his investment. We will deal with ourselves after we come up to heaven, after we've lived our life. That's what we should worry about. That's what we live our life worrying about, what will happen then. What's happening now, that's God's problem. He has to worry about it because this is his project. So that's how we can see our petition and asking God for our needs in prayer in a whole different light. Okay, so that's that gives a little insight into some of the themes, the general theme of prayer, which is of the Amida, which is to ask God for our needs, which is in the middle. And God willing, next week we'll break down a little bit the structure of the Amida, how it opens, how it closes, and what happens in the middle, and we'll go through some of those blessings as well.